Hello, I am Plastic Sporks, and this is Microsoft Flight Simulator X Steam Edition. Now, I've had Microsoft Flight Simulator X for a while now, but I haven't really played it that much, honestly. Um, and I've always had it on easy settings, maybe a little bit higher, but never on fully realistic, and that's what we're set to now. So, um, I'm by no means an expert when it comes to playing any kind of flight simulators, especially on realistic. So bear with me if I make mistakes. There's going to be a lot of them. Um, Full disclosure, I've already made a first attempt at this video and I forgot to switch my alternator on. So what happened was I ran out of power and everything went dead. So yeah, I decided to scrap that and start all over. So what we're going to do today is my first realistic flight. What we're going to do is head out from Cartersville Airport in Georgia, Cartersville, Georgia, KVPC, I believe it is. We're going to head out from here. We're going to fly to a VOR beacon, or I think that's what they're called, right? Of the ID Golf Quebec Oscar. The name is Choo Choo, which I think is pretty funny. And that's just to the southeast of Chattanooga, which is our final destination, in Kilo Charlie Hotel Alpha Lovell Airport, Lovell Field, or whatever it's called, I can't remember. So we're doing a visual flight rules VFR, and I am terrible at all of it. I am terrible at taxiing, I'm terrible at everything. As you can see, we are doing a cold and dark start. So I have the flight checklist pulled up on my other monitor. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get going. So the brakes are set. So we're good with that. The electrical equipment, autopilot, everything is off. And fuel selector should be on both, and it is. All right. So now we're going to have to throttle or start the engine. So we need to throttle up to about 25% or a quarter of an inch. So I'm doing that with my flight stick, my little cheap yoke flight joystick that I've had for a while. Is that cut? It feels just open, so we'll go ahead and cut that. Wait till we get to there. Mixture on rich. Propeller area is clear. It looks like everything is clear. Master switch on. So, and before I forget, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the alternator and fuel pump on. And we're gonna switch over to start. Why aren't we starting? Am I missing something? Let's go ahead and push this in a little bit more. Actually, I can't push it. I gotta use my joystick. There we go. Throttle a little bit more. Why aren't we starting? The fuel pump is on, right? Yeah? Oh yeah, fuel cut off. I'm an idiot. Alright, so let's go ahead and auto that down to about 1,000 RPM. Just watching that on the tack right here. Alright, that's close enough. Alright. So now check oil pressure. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit so everybody can see that. Oil pressure is climbing. Alright. Flight controls are free and clear. And they appear to be so. Mixture is on rich. It is. Wait, no. Auxiliary fuel pump off. So go ahead and turn that off. I skipped a few steps. And for the lights, I like to use the 2D dashboard so we can see it. So make sure that our beacon and nav lights are on. Avionics master switch on. And flaps are retracted. Alright. So now I'm going to go ahead and tune into local airway. Cartersville Airport KVPC does not have a air traffic control tower, so we don't have to worry about that. But it is at 123.05, so go ahead and tune that in. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the frequency to for our nav 1 to 115.80 is going to be our VOR beacon, I believe. Don't know what that. We must be out of range. Yeah, but we don't have a signal right here. Alright, so everything is set. Let's go ahead and recenter our view. And let's announce that we're going to be taxiing. We're going to be taking off on runway 1, heading north.
Kilo Victor Papa Charlie traffic Cessna Hotel Bravo Mike Echo Sierra taking off runway 1 north departure.
Like I said, we don't have a air traffic controller, so we're just letting the airspace around us know. And like I said before, I am terrible at taxiing, so I'm probably going to be all over the place. And this is my first realistic flight of any length other than trying to take off. And we are going way too fast. I'm going to throttle down. Ooh, little squirrely, little squirrely. Alright, so we're going to runway 1. You can see the runway marker there, 19 to the left, 1 to the right. So we're going to taxi down this way. So I have the weather set to fair, and according to the tooltip, there's going to be updrafts, currents here and there, not too bad, mild winds every now and then, so nothing too much. Alright, trying to hold this speed. We're going to get to the hold short line down here, and we're going to do our final checks before takeoff. Alright, I'm going to throw down a little bit more. We're picking up way too much speed. Just tapping the brakes. I don't know if that's what they do in real life, if they tap brakes to slow their progress while they're taxiing. That's just what I do to help me out. So we'll see how it goes. Also, if the sound is a little off, like if the plane's too loud or whatever, I'll try to fix that in editing. Right now, it's pretty manageable to me. It's pretty silent. So let's get up here to this hold short line for runway 1. If I bump my mic or whatever, I'm sorry. It's a new mic. Let's go ahead and set the parking brake. All right, so. Parking brake set, flight instruments are set as far as I know. Fuel quantity check. Let's see. We are good. We're full. Definitely don't need a full tank, but I just went ahead and went with a full tank just to make sure. Definitely don't need it. So what we're going to need to do now is check our magnetos. So I need a. Oh yeah, we got to recheck, make sure we're set to both, and we are both fuel tanks. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is throttle up to about 1800 RPMs, and then we're going to check their left and right magnetos, and each time I do that it should drop a little bit of RPMs. So we're at 1500, we need to get up to 1800 RPM. Did I set my taxi lights and all that? I did not do that. I'm so bad. I don't think we're going to need pitot heat today. A little bit more. Alright, that should be good. Alright, so I'm going to switch over to right, and it dropped a little bit. I'm back to both. Should go back up. And it is, okay. Now check the left. It should drop a little bit. And it did. Alright. So it's good. Let's go ahead and throttle back down to about 1,000 RPM. Zoom out a little bit. Alright. So now we need to check our suction gauge. It's right here. It looks good. Strobe light. Let's go ahead and turn that on. Radios avionics should be set. Our autopilot. We're going to be going at about 5,000 feet today as our cruising altitude. Wing flaps set to 10 degrees for takeoff. There we go. And we should be good to go. So now we've already announced our intentions to take off, so let's do it. Oh, a little wide turn, that's fine. So once we take off, our heading will be 347. Alright, 65 knots. Let's go ahead and rotate. Climb at about, oh yeah, I can already tell this is going to be fun. Climb at about 10 degrees. Try to maintain about 700 feet a minute. And, yeah, I'm terrible. Climb speed should be, oh, I'm way all over the place. Climb speed should be about 70 to 80 knots, so I'm trying to maintain that. I am way all over the place. Let's go ahead and retract our flaps. Yep. Alright, so now let's go ahead and dial in 347, our heading. If I can fly straight, please, that'd be nice. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to fly with my left hand and use my mouse. It's not working out very well. We're losing way too much airspeed. I should have done this before I took off, honestly. That's part of the checklist. I just completely forgot. Alright, 347, so we're basically, it's just a hair off of due north. So now what we're going to do, oh, we got nav, good. So what we're going to do is turn on autopilot, hit nav, and altitude. So we should be about 52 nautical miles away. So we're gonna line up with this, and then it should kick us over. Once we intersect it, we should hit it and then turn left, I think. We'll see what happens when we intersect it a little bit. And another thing that I'm trying to learn is how to do the mixture to keep the RPMs at a good spot and get their exhaust temperature out to climb. So I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be up here. There's a bigger hash mark. I don't want to drop too much RPMs. Yeah. Okay, so that must be the sweet spot right now, 45. You can see as we're coming in, we should hopefully start making a left-hand turn, because now we're heading 9 degrees. Omni bearing select. Oh, okay, hold on. Oh, I forgot to. I need to line this up with our heading, maybe. Maybe not. I honestly don't know how to do this. Maybe I need to do a little bit more research. Alright, okay, well I'm just gonna put it back on heading for now. Alright, but what I'm gonna do, we're going a little too slow. Actually, no. We're gonna climb 70 to 85. We're good. Yeah, so now everything's lining up, so I think we might be good. Anyways, to keep you guys from sitting through too much boring flight time, what I'll probably do is, unless anything happens, I'm going to cut the video here until we get closer to our approach. Once we get closer to our VOR beacon, and if anything happens, I'll bring you back. But if not, see you when we get there. Alright, so we're about 20 nautical miles out. I'm going to switch over to see if I can't contact Chattanooga approach. So I had 3 different radio frequencies possibility. I was just about one, so we'll go ahead and tune to it.
Chattanooga approach, Cessna, Hotel Bravo Mike Echo Sierra is type Cessna, Skyhawk, 9 miles southwest of Kilo Delta November, request flight following. Cessna, Hotel Bravo Mike Echo Sierra, Chattanooga approach, squawk 0136.
Alright, so now I'm changing my squawk code.
Squawk 0136, Cessna, Mike Echo Sierra. Cessna, Mike Echo Sierra, radar contact 9 miles southwest of Kilo Delta November, 4,600, altimeter 2992. Copy, Cessna, Mike Echo Sierra.
Can I not request a landing yet? Am I too far out? Let's bring the GPS, see how close we are. See, that's it. So we're about 20 miles out. Actually, I'm going to tune to the tower. Request a full stop
Tower,
landing.
Cessna, Hotel Bravo Mike Echo Sierra is 23 miles south with Quebec to land. Cessna, Hotel Bravo Mike Echo Sierra, Chattanooga Tower, make straight in, runway 2, altimeter 2992. Make straight in, runway 2, Cessna, Mike Echo Sierra.
Alright, some pretty good turbulence right now. So we are flying over some mountains, or you know, they're mountains. They're just not big. So I'm gonna go ahead and tune to the ILS of runway 2, which is 108.3. So it should be good. So we should have glide scope. Oh, actually, we're too far out to get that information. So we'll see when we get there. Let's see, my GPS. Is there a way? Let's see, procedure. Select approach. No. How do I get out of that? Oh yeah, procedure. Can't tell which runway is what. Actually, I'm going to bring up the map so we can check that out a little bit. Can't really tell. I'm still not good at learning how to do that. This should be runway 2 right here, so we need to go to the left a little bit. So now I'm going to put, we are on headings, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start going left just a hair now. Actually, where'd my kneeboard go? Oh, okay, there he is. Alright. So I can get my checklist back up. For some reason it went away. I think I'm going to go ahead and drop to about 3,500 feet right now. One thing I missed at the Caravan, that's one thing I've been flying a lot on FS Economy. The Caravan has a radar altimeter, so it shows you how far above the actual topography you are, instead of a just an altimeter straight up. Actually, hold on. I don't think that is runway 2 that I'm aiming at. Because that's 20. Okay, yeah, that is 2. Okay. Mouse back over it real quick. Outer marker, I don't want to see the outer marker. Middle marker, I don't want to. There we are. Okay, yeah, that is runway 2. Alright. Switch our heading a little bit farther to the west. I think that's our. Well, that might be our airport right here. Actually, let's stay at about 3,800 feet right now because it looks like we're getting a little close to the mountains, yeah. And as you can tell, I don't have any scenery out on packs or anything like that. Basically running all default with a couple of freeware airplanes. I'm trying to reset my view. Still haven't picked up the navigation or the glide scope yet. Glide slope, whatever it's called. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's our airport right there. Off to about our 1 o'clock. We'll turn a little bit more to the west because I won't have as much approach as I can. And yeah, I don't like using the GPS if the airplane that I'm flying doesn't actually have a GPS installed, but I do use it for references. Because I'm still learning how to fly. With like FS economy, I will use a flight plan with the GPS, especially for long flights. And I've been playing FS economy on lower settings than realistic also. So I'm hoping to get to the point where I no longer need a flight checklist where I have all the stuff memorized for all the different Cessnas and smaller planes like that. And eventually bumping up the full realistic on FS economy and learn how to use all the radios correctly, things like that. It was 109.3, that's what it said, right, for that ILS approach? Zoom in a little bit more, it's easier. 108.3. There we are. So yeah, let's go ahead and swing it out more farther west to bring that in. I thought that was wrong. I have the ILS written down on a notepad also, and I still put it in wrong. Alright, so yeah, there's our airport. Right here, there's our runway. Right there. So I'm going to do a harder thing. So pretty much almost go directly west. So we have plenty of time. So we're basically on our glide slope right now. Making sure that we have plenty of time to actually adjust to things. I was wondering why we didn't actually have a heading yet. So this is going to be my first attempt at a landing in realistic mode, by the way. This should be fun. I'm invested now. I've been recording for about 40 minutes, so crash or land, it's going to be an episode. So guys need to actually we're too high, so let's drop down to 35. Yes, I know that there's airspace. Draw down a little bit. We're hitting some turbulence over these small mountains here.
Chattanooga Tower, November 97445, runway 2, ready for takeoff. Longitude. November 97445, cleared for takeoff. Runway 2.
Let's go ahead and start turning and just to the right.
Cleared for takeoff. Runway 2. 445.
Let's go ahead and put the mixture vector rich. put our landing and taxi lights back on. I'm going to start turning a little bit more towards the airport. Drop down to about 3,000. So I can't tell if this means I'm above it or below it. Alright, there's our runway. Need our heading to be about 19. And yep, that lines up. So we'll go ahead and disable the autopilot. Throttle down. And just let the plane bring itself down.
Cessna Mike Echo Sierra, cleared to land runway 2. Cleared to land runway 2. Cessna Mike Echo Sierra.
So I'll try not to fight the airplane too much. That's a bad thing that I have a habit of.
445, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
And I read that about 400 feet a minute is good whenever you're on for a Cessna, whenever you're on the glide slope. But we're not on it yet. Alright, so we'll go ahead and put in our first notch of flaps. That should pitch up a little bit and then come on down. Still too high, so that's definitely when the bar is below the dotted line on the glide slope. You're too high. I don't want to drop too fast. And put in a second notch of flaps. Still too high. Still too high. A little bit of wind there. We're off to the left a little bit. Not by a ton though. I'm going to put full flaps. And we want to touch down at about 60 to 70 knots. So I'm just throttling or I'm just messing with the throttle to keep us there. Still too high. Not too far to the left. Too high, but not terribly. We're coming into it now. Don't want to get too slow. Still a little high. There we are, we're on the glide slope finally. Still too high. Down a little bit. Toggle down a little bit. Now it's saying, okay, now we got 2 red, 2 white, so we're good. And once we get over this alright, go ahead. Cut throttle. Oh, don't balls it up now. Flare, flare, flare. Ooh, that was a pretty rough landing.
Cessna Mike Echo Sierra, turn next taxiway. Chattanooga Airport Information Romeo 1.
Okay, I definitely will turn the next. I didn't mean to tune to that. Oh well. So, alright, go ahead and raise your flaps up.
Cessna Mike Echo Sierra, turn next taxiway. Cessna Mike Echo Sierra, contact ground on 121.7. 121.7 for Cessna Mike Echo Sierra. Chattanooga ground, Cessna Hotel Bravo Mike Echo Sierra, taxi to parking. Cessna Hotel Bravo Mike Echo Sierra, taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Alpha Charlie. Taxiing to general aviation parking via taxiway Alpha Charlie, Cessna Mike Echo Sierra.
Yeah, I kind of messed that up. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. Oh, it's over there. Okay. So that wasn't the best landing in the world. I had air traffic control breathing on my neck the whole way in. Excuse me. But we definitely didn't break anything as far as I know. I do have detect collisions and all that turned on. Detect crashes and things like that, so alright, so now I can turn off my strobe, pitot heat, and I think, as far as I know, that's all we need to turn off right now. Oh, yep, Alpha taxiway, here's Charlie right here. Follow it up to the right to continue on Charlie, don't go on Bravo. Alright, there's runway 33 that we're going to be hopping across real quick. That was a whole short line. I just ran it. Oh well. And I think I'll get better at taxiing as time goes on. I usually just, while I was learning how to do the flight simulator, I just started on the active runway. And so I hardly ever did any taxiing. But yeah, I don't think progressive taxiing is cheating when you don't know the airport. I definitely don't know this airport. So. Alright, so we made it safe and sound, and we only used 10% fuel, so we definitely got way more than we needed. But like I said, I just didn't want to mess with it just in case we had any issues. Alright, close enough. Alright, go ahead and set the parking brake. Equipment autopilot is off. Avionics master switch and all that. Let's go ahead and flip that off. Mixture cut off. Ignition switch off. Nope, nope, not start, not start. Oh, okay, yeah, the 2D panel, I just gotta click on the minus, right? Alright, let's go ahead and turn off all these lights. Master switch off. And battery off. Oh. And make sure we put this on left or right to prevent cross feeding. And fuel off. So I think we're good. I think we're in Chattanooga. I think I did okay for my first realistic flight. Not terrible. So if anybody has any kind of tips or tricks or pointers they want to send my way, feel free. But for me, that's going to do it. I appreciate you watching and stay tuned for more.